Jessica Jones, the second of Marvel's Netflix original series, has been greenlit for a second season. This isn't too much of a surprise since we've seen all of the other Netflix series being a huge success thus far. What is surprising is the creative direction executive producer and showrunner, Melissa Rosenberg, has decided on. Welcome to Comic Book Controversy, and today we'll be discussing Jessica Jones, if you hadn't already guessed. Jessica Jones has been praised as having a strong female lead and its handling of sensitive subjects like rape and sexual assault. Now it's being praised for Rosenberg's decision to make every director of the second season a woman. On the surface, that doesn't seem so bad. How could this be controversial? Look at all these articles praising the idea. TVGuide.com says, Jessica Jones is striking out at female underrepresentation in entertainment with an unprecedented mandate by Rosenberg. All 13 episodes will be directed by women. Rosenberg revealed that she had only planned to increase the number of female directors, but after speaking with staff, they encouraged her to only hire women. Marvel was completely supportive and the mandate was set for the series to be framed from a women's point of view. That seems logical, no doubt. How about this article from the Harpy? Jessica Jones hiring all female directors for Season 2 is helping to even the score. The latest report from the Directors Guild of America shows that directing jobs for the 2015-16 TV season went primarily to white men. Female directors only increased by 1% over the previous year. That's why news of Jessica Jones hiring all women to direct is such great news. A similar series of events took place for the show Queen Sugar, and Jessica Jones seems to be coattailing this trend. Women, especially women of color, aren't afforded the same opportunities. So while in a perfect world we wouldn't consider gender when hiring, it's something that does actually need to be considered. Rosenberg said inclusive hiring for all personnel was a conscious decision, and it's very important that showrunners do that. Okay, so there seems to also be a trend showing that women aren't hired as often to direct as men. Let's see what this article from /films.com says. One of the reasons Jessica Jones feels so fresh is that it's the rare Marvel story built entirely around a female lead, and showrunner Rosenberg and team leaned heavily on this fact, offering a perspective of the Marvel Cinematic Universe through the eyes of a woman. And now the upcoming second season of the show is looking to double down on this angle as every episode will be helmed by a female director. As usual, another article excited to see an all-female directing staff. Although female directors did helm some of JJ's first season, 9 of the 13 episodes ultimately credited men as directors. Rosenberg explicitly hiring only women for the second season is a loud statement in the face of a male-dominated industry. And let's be honest, anyone who thinks that this kind of progressive approach to filmmaking isn't necessary is almost assuredly a man. That was a bit of a weird line to throw in your article, but okay. They continue, the stories of double standards being applied to women in Hollywood are too many to count, or I guess even to list, because they didn't list any, and it will take showrunners like Rosenberg taking aggressive and yes, political stands like this to help balance the scales. They also state in the final paragraph how an all-female perspective could help drive the female-led show. I'm seeing a bit of a trend now. It seems to me that all these journalists are excited because equality's coming at the exclusion of men. Wait, maybe that's not right. Equality is coming because women are being given all the jobs. No, that sounds odd too. Well, let's look at a few pie charts. People like pie charts, right? This information comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter. It breaks down the ethnicity and gender of TV directors for the 2015 to 2016 season. This will give us a better idea of what all those journalists were talking about. In episodic TV directors, men directed 83% of the episodes and women only 17%. These numbers are taken from a total of 4,000 episodes from almost 300 scripted broadcasts and cable series in 2015 and 16. Based on this evidence, I can agree that there definitely is an uneven ratio of men to women directors. Surely there must be a way to get more women helming shows, but it's deciding to only hire women the solution. I don't believe so. I might even go so far as to say that our government doesn't believe so either. Let's take a look at Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It shall be an unlawful employment practice for an employer, 1. To fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Or 2, to limit, segregate, or classify his employees or applicants for employment in any way which would deprive or tend to deprive any individual of employment opportunities or otherwise adversely affect his status as an employee because of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Those 2 laws alone make the conscious decision to only hire women controversial. So the other question is this sexism? I think that's not as clear. Wanting to have a creative vision and employing those who you think would best fit that creative vision in itself isn't an issue. Making the decision to exclude anyone who isn't the preferred gender is. There's no 2 ways around it. You can't say that you're only going to hire women is different from deciding to only hire men. And playing devil's advocate here, what if a transgender woman were to try to be a director for Jessica Jones? Now are we looking at the sex of a potential employee, or the more diverse world of gender politics? It seems to me that even if one man applied to direct an episode of Jessica Jones and was turned down, they could easily have a lawsuit on their hands. I can appreciate what Rosenberg is trying to do. She's trying to make the directorial world more inclusive by bringing in more women because it's such a male-dominated field. In an interview with Jezebel, she said the following: "When I interview a writer, I'm less interested in what you've been doing professionally than I am in where you're from, what your parents do, what's your life experience, what are you bringing to the table personally. I don't want a bunch of people who look like and sound like me and have the experiences I have." Except only hiring women kind of goes against that idea. Looking at it from my perspective, I'm glad she only makes TV shows and not cars or buildings. She doesn't care if you're any good at your job, just that you're unique. Why shouldn't she be equally interested in these things? That's just odd. Perhaps the controversy surrounding the all-female direction wouldn't have been as big an issue if gender politics hadn't been brought into it. I personally have no issue with them only hiring women, but everyone should have an opportunity to apply. What if a longtime male fan of the comics wants to take part of the series? "No, I'm sorry sir, but you have a penis and we're not going that direction right now." Trying to solve inequality by creating inequality isn't the solution. But what do you think? Is it exciting to see an all-female directorial squad, or are we looking at a weird world of discrimination? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you the next time there's a comic book controversy.